Hi, I'm Sue Clark. I'm head of the Lancashire Violence Reduction Network. I'm here to talk to you all about trauma-informed Lancashire. We're really proud in the VRN in Lancashire to be behind this project. The work's been going on all across the county in Lancashire for several years now, and it's essentially about all of us, services and communities, being kinder with each other and actually understanding what the impact of trauma is on people's behaviour and also on the needs. Trauma-informed Lancashire is about how we can help people in a better way, help them to be the best version of themselves they can be. If those people are coming into the criminal justice system, if they're at school, if they're within prisons, there's no reason why we can't all try and understand each other a little bit more, and that's what it's about. So the VRN role in it is to actually promote the work, and there's a whole plan around it. But I suppose that the key message for this is trauma-informed Lancashire is about everyone, understanding each other, creating kinder, safer communities and actually helping people to flourish, and that's what it's for.
We embarked on a trauma-informed journey several years ago now when I took over, and we really needed to tackle behaviour. And we were approached as a school serving a deprived community to think about different approaches to behaviour at the time. And it really interested me because trauma-informed practice for me is about the why. It's about why things happen. So what we wanted to do was really understand our children's behaviour and our own behaviours and how those two things could come together to really improve things in school.
All of the staff at Latham have an open door policy. Most of the teachers are in their rooms at break time and at lunchtime. So if they need, even if they just want to go for a chat, or they need a bit of help with their homework, or they need just to go and sit somewhere quiet, the doors are always open. You know, they can go to any of the staff, any of the teachers. If your staff know the families, then they can help your child so much more because they know what's going on at home. They know what these children are up against, and every child's different. Every single child is different, and they're all going through different things at home, positives and negatives. So if the school know the children inside out, they know the families inside out, and then they can help the families. Because honestly, it is a community. All these high schools are in a community, and this community needs the schools to know what's going on within the community.
So we will take on board the fact that perhaps they live in poverty, that they aren't in any education, that their parents have been involved in a lot of domestic violence, and all that trauma will have an effect on that child and how they act and behave. So we will try and determine an outcome for that child that takes that into account and move forward with them to keep them out of the criminal justice system and to almost prevent that trauma from becoming intergenerational.
Past traumas can really restrict how some people are able to access the health service. So things like breast screening, cervical screening, things like bowel cancer screening, there might be a reason why somebody doesn't turn up for their appointments. Being trauma-informed allows us to be a bit more aware and sensitive around those and maybe adapt the way we offer that service to encourage people to attend. By attending, they're going to potentially pick up things like an early cancer diagnosis and be able to access treatment more quickly, and therefore we'll get better outcomes in the future.
Being trauma-informed puts the individual first. It helps us understand the trauma that people might have gone through and how that impacts their life on a day-to-day basis. We can then use this to help them feel empowered to help work towards their goals. So on the Champions programme, we work with the individual to help support them into training, education, employment opportunities, as well as providing wraparound support around their mental health. We use the provisions at the Trust as well as what's available in the local communities as well.
Some of them have been about broken relationships, about the attitudes of other people, and those traumas have really built up over time. So when I've been involved in the trauma-informed training, it's really alerted me to the fact that we need to listen to people's past, we need to be very aware of of people's histories, and then treat them in a way that A, isn't going to re-traumatise them, but is also going to be much more sensitive to the feelings that they might have about their past histories.
It lets us look beyond someone's behaviour, so if somebody's not communicating with us in a way that we might expect, it doesn't just let us dismiss that behaviour, it helps us to understand why somebody may be struggling with us and helps us think about different ways that we can engage families in a more meaningful way. It also really empowers families to help them understand that we are there to support them and that we do care about what has happened to them previously.
As a clinician, it's important to know that having an adverse childhood experience can really increase the risk of somebody having heart disease, can increase the risk of stroke, diabetes. So actually, if you don't know about that past trauma, you're not able to actually put that risk factor into your clinical world. You're not able to understand why that person's presenting in that way and actually ask them what's happened to them and help them in that way.
So I would advise any practitioners or organisations who are looking to become more trauma aware to think about what they've already got in place at the moment and understanding what trauma looks like from their perspective already. So have a think about any other organisations that might have already rolled out some training or been on that journey to become more trauma informed and trauma aware. Think about what resources you already have in place at the moment and tap into your partner agencies, because there are some really key strong messages out there, and it's about making sure that there is one consistent approach to understanding trauma.
I've now been working on the programme for 18 months, and during that time I've seen a massive positive impact that it's had upon young people that I've worked with. They've been supported into employment opportunities, they've been supported back into education provisions, and I just encourage anyone to get involved and engage with the programme in the future.
When I met Steve, I didn't have faith in most services. I was only with one service and I lost faith in them because I couldn't trust them. But when I met Steve, everything changed for me. I got referred to Steve. Within 2 hours, Steve changed my life. And just relating to somebody who had been through the same experiences that I'd been through, I felt alone and I was the only one that had been through addiction. But Steve made me realise that you can actually change if you put your mind to it. It was overwhelming, it was tears of joy. I didn't think there was any help out there for me. It was at a dead end and I didn't think I had a future. Steve gave me the courage and the confidence to help myself, and he was there for me 24/7, not just 9 to 5. And it just gave me so much confidence and it helped me, and I thought, yeah, I can do it. And he believed in me, which was amazing, absolutely amazing for me.
To the boy who was sexually abused.
To the person too scared to leave home.
To the parents whose children are now in care.
To the man battling his demons.
And to the child that doesn't feel heard.
We pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And we pledge to support Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And we pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And we pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire. And we pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And this morning I would like to pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And we pledge on behalf of the Council to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And we make a pledge to a Trauma Informed Lancashire.
That's why I'm supporting Trauma Informed Lancashire.
We pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And we pledge to support Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And we pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And we pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
So my pledge to you is that we drive to become a trauma informed system.
And we pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
We pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
On behalf of Blackpool Children's Services, I pledge to Trauma Informed Lancashire.
I would like to pledge my support for Trauma Informed Lancashire.
And I am pledging today on behalf of the Office of the Police and Crime Commissioner and all the other services, commission services in the constabulary that I am responsible for,
that we will adopt a trauma-informed approach to reducing, reoffending and supporting and preventing future victims of crime in our county.